Hi there, Tony here, and this is Football Fan TV. Welcome to yet another edition. Welcome back to another pod, and we are back again. Chelsea represented, Manchester City represented, and of course, Arsenal represented. We wanted Manu to be as well, but you know what happened? Yesterday, Manu lost, and the Manu fans or the Manu people on the panel have decided to be busy. They are very busy. They are giving excuses of network,
But you're in
Wi-Fi, and
danger.
all that, but.
Manya Eid,
But
Wi-Fi.
you,
But you're in danger.
Ed,
Nasty,
and by the way, you
Nasty,
guys, happy Eid,
Nasty is
Zoe
now
and
after.
Benji, happy Eid to both of you.
Happy Eid, Tony.
Happy Eid, man.
Good to have you guys here as usual. So, Zoe, how are you doing?
Me, I'm brilliant. Eating my
Very
rice,
brilliant.
my chikoko. You guys,
Uh,
the long weekend. Love it.
mm.
Right.
Just love it.
Benji, how you doing?
I can't complain. It's been a great week for me in terms of sports. My basketball team is representing. My soccer team is, doing what everyone else knows. So yeah, I can't complain. I'm doing okay.
So, Haaland has how many goals now? How many? 40, 48,
49, 48, 48. Yeah,
49, 48,
48.
48. Those are very big returns, I imagine, for a 22-year-old. And it's just like his first season. What is he going to do in his second season?
Well, I think we'll wait and see how Pep decides to play up front. In terms of the wings, there's a rumor that
Hmm.
he will try and do both strikers at once because Alvarez just signed a new contract. So if we
Hmm.
go with two strikers, I think that would be pretty interesting. I think Grealish might drop off the first team, but
Hmm.
the goal scoring won't stop because KDB is fit. Midfield is stronger. It's deeper. Gundogan might stay, despite
Hmm.
earlier rumors that he will leave.
Oh, good is signing a new contract.
He might sign a new contract.
Oh. Hmm.
So yeah, I think all that depends on the Champions League. How we do in these remaining 3 games. Hopefully 3 games,
Hmm.
because Madrid is not an easy one. So yeah, I'm excited to see what comes next season. But we're going for 60 goals for Haaland in the remaining games, 12 more
Haaland.
goals, and he can get that. So yeah, it's pretty exciting right now.
Zoe, you heard Benji talk about Champions League. Your team moved out of the Champions League. They were beaten 2-0 in the return leg at Stamford Bridge. I think it was a beautiful game, though. However much the goals.
That's true. They kind of played really well in the first half. They really held on. They were attacking the most. Still had the problems with finishing and all that. That Kante shot. Ish, you guys. Anyway, it's nice to. It was nice to see the team try attempting to try to come back. You kind of had
Mm.
hope in the first half, but then when you
You had
make
hope
defensive, no, not to come back like actually, but then to at least score a
oh,
goal, yeah,
to win
to
the
at
game.
least score.
Or squad.
Not no, at
Mm.
least like okay, I don't know, but at least to score at least one goal.
At least to score a goal. Eh?
But then when you make defensive mistakes, they still bring in Chalobah on and still bring Conor Gallagher. Those are you can't expect to win a match when you're still making such defensive mistakes. Yeah. So
I think I know why he brought Gallagher though. Gallagher is good pressing press when the team is pressing. I think he had a plan of pressing from the start. Eh?
yeah, yeah, he does that, but then you reach a point and he just gets. I don't understand. Like he gets. I don't know.
Mm.
How do I explain it?
I
He just
think
really.
I don't think
Is
you
I,
can.
can't-
I
I
don't
can't
think.
explain what Gallagher's playing, man. It just sometimes I just don't get it. He's such
Yeah.
Mm.
a very he's a very you can't know what he's going to do. You just can't know. He might decide to
Mm.
shoot. He might decide to not pass. He's just so you can't bet on him to do
Mm.
something right like that. I can't lie to you. He will run, but
Oh,
everyone can run.
your team
I
is
mean,
full of runners. That's all.
Modric runs. I don't know. Outside the pitch, inside, through the goal, but you never see anything that he does. So yeah, Zoe's right. Gallagher, for me, Gallagher is the typical English midfielder.
Yes,
They will have
exactly.
one season, they'll have one hot season in a
Mm.
small team, and then they get all this hype, and for some reason they just drop off. Mason Mount was exactly like that when Lampard had just brought him in, and now you barely see
Mm.
the guy. James Madison has those moments when he's the best midfielder in the Premier League and then he drops off.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't understand what happens with English players, but yeah.
Zoe, do you think your team is better off next season not being in any of those European competitions and then just focus on maybe the domestic league cups and then also the Premier League, or what do you think?
I can't lie to you that we do. The only time you literally, or not the only time, but the best times you see Chelsea actually try to perform is in those international cups. In domestics, they are kind of, in the middle. Like they're just there. Like even if we're having a good season in the Premier League, we'll probably be like third, fourth, second, but we're just there. But then will you actually see a very good Chelsea when they play in international leagues? Yeah. So that's where they actually have like
Mm,
fire and stuff like that. So um us not being in international cups next season is kind of gonna be, okay, yes, we get to focus more on like the Premier League and all that, but ah man, not being in an international cup next season, eh? I'm not used to that. I'm not used to it. I don't know what it feels like. Arsenal guys, please tell me, what is it like?
we
Because I
can
don't
tell
get
you
it.
how it feels like. You are going to get the feeling next season because I doubt you even make conference league or conference cup. You may not even make it.
I'm finally going to feel like an Arsenal person, you guys.
Which is a good thing. You just the feeling. So on the manager, who do you think is going to take the club forward? Nagelsmann or Enrique or Pochettino is even
And
out there? Who do you think?
now I would have preferred Enrique. No cap, he has more experience. He has national team experience. Is really, I feel like he would command more respect from these children, because I feel like most of them are
Mm,
hot-headed. Huh? You can't like. I feel like
mm,
Mason is like, I'm Mason Mount. Kai Havertz is like, I'm Kai Havertz. So the fact that if you bring someone that's not so, then have like a whole record of wins and all that, they are really hot-headed. These kids are really hot-headed. So I
mm,
really would have liked to see Luis Enrique come to Chelsea, because I feel like he'd smack them on the back of their heads after a loss. I feel like, but
mm,
then apparently, if I check the news correctly, he might actually fall out of one of the potential people that we can have in Chelsea. So we might actually bring on Julian, and he can be good for Chelsea, I guess.
mm.
But I would have preferred Enrique any day, all day. No lie. And no, Pochettino, relax. No.
Pochettino. Chelsea and Spurs are good at swapping managers. So you may end up also seeing what's his name, Nuno Espirito Santos being your coach.
I saw the news. I saw actually the other people who they were lining up, and I was like, if
Eh,
Chelsea makes a mistake, you guys will see the first
mm,
fan support transfer in history. Because I'm sorry, I love Chelsea, but my friend, I will transfer myself for free, free agent. Ah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Because we can't
Oh,
keep
Conte
doing
is
this, you
also
guys.
there, and you would come and you see, it was a very very good game, Chelsea. You can have him back.
Hey, good evening.
You
Ah,
can have
no.
you can have him back. Mm.
No, 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 thank you. Can't lie. No, thank you. Let's just move forward. Let's move forward instead.
Benji,
Let's go back.
in a nutshell, you go to the Bernabeu in the first leg of the of the semi-finals of the Champions League. Do you think you go past Madrid this time?
I'm actually more confident than I've been in a couple of seasons that yeah we can go
Mm,
past Madrid. Partly because
mm,
when you look at their defensive structure right now, they seem to be having a problem on the left side. The coach is not sure because Mendy is injured, so the coach is not sure of who to start. And if he makes the same mistake of bringing on Kamavinga as a false, because
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
pep tactic. So we'll
so it's being
definitely
used as an auxiliary number three.
exactly. So we'll definitely
Mm,
it's a pep tactic. So that's something we'll definitely exploit. But at the
mm,
same time, Madrid doesn't care whether they're at home or away. In the Champions League, they're just beasts. So
They
I feel like
beat.
the first leg they beat, yeah. So the first leg will be kind of test the waters, try and cool the
mm,
tempers. The kids are emotional, because of how it happened last season. But at the same
mm,
time, I feel like Haaland brings something we've not had. I've not seen a Man City player smiling the way he does before a game. It's kind of psychotic, but it rubs off on everyone else. He believes that he's going to score,
Mm,
and once he scores, it gives the
mm,
whole team that belief that he can actually do this. So I feel like the first
mm.
game, the first leg will set the precedent for the second. But I believe in our chances this season. Yeah,
Zoe, the other side, I think Inter Milan is going to play AC Milan as well. An all Italian affair. Which team do you think makes it to the final? I believe if Man City goes past Madrid, they are finally going to break their hold and they take the Champions League this season. Um,
Yeah, they would.
how about
Yeah.
the Milan derby? What do you think? Because
The
it's an
Milan
Italian
derby.
affair.
Yeah. Um, I'm just going to focus more on the performance in the Champions League, like up to the stage they are at now. Inter has actually played well, shockingly, and
Mm,
but then AC Milan also has that flair, that you know, that Giroud affair, bro. It was interesting to watch
mm,
the matches that they had to qualify to the semi-finals, but I
mm.
can't really necessarily say right now who would pass, who would qualify. I really can't tell. I feel like they're more evenly matched, but I don't know. For now, I really can't tell.
I think
Do we
if
see a Manchester City AC Milan final
That'll be too easy. You're
for Man
giving
City?
me
Yeah,
yeah. Actually, any team that
no,
City, let me tell you, as long as City passes through Real Madrid,
Madrid.
City has taken the Champions
It
League
will
for the
be a
first time. It's
walkover.
done. Like it's
Yes.
over. It's every team after that is going to be a walkover. So
I
now the
hope
only
it doesn't
affair right
happen
now,
because
yeah. So now the only thing right now, like even if it doesn't matter who qualifies on the other half of the chart,
mm,
that side doesn't matter. The only side that matters
mm,
now right now is Real Madrid City. Whoever passes on there has either Real Madrid has taken
takes the
yet
trophy.
another, or City takes its first.
Mm.
But then you guys, if City takes its first Champions League, now what are we going to tell them? Because we're talking about, oh, City don't have a Champions League regardless. City don't have a Champions League
Yeah, that's
regardless.
what you also tell us. I also hope. I hope they don't
I've,
take it and remain on the same. With them. At least we'll have
hey,
something in
hey,
form of
but
Benji.
you
What do
guys,
you think?
you're about to have a 20-year non-Premier League season. Yo,
Talking
Pastor
about
guys.
the Premier League. Talking about the Premier League. Premier League returns today. Actually, Arsenal plays Southampton at the Emirates. It's going to be at 10 p.m. East African time. Benji, I would like to know your thoughts on this game and also your predictions. You
I,
being the one that is at loggerheads with Arsenal for the title, what do you think about this game today?
well, I predict that first of all today James Ward-Prowse will finally tie the record with Beckham in
Yes.
terms of set piece goals,
Mm,
which I think stands at 18. So that would be the game changer for me. Southampton is really organized lately. I forget the coach's name, the new guy they brought in as a caretaker. It's the third coach,
mm,
right, for the season.
it's the third coach in the season.
Yeah, he knows what players he has. Yeah, their attack is not fast, it's not beautiful, but they can get the job done. So as long as
Mm,
Walcott doesn't start, it's gonna be a good game for Southampton.
The scores, what do you think are going to be the scores?
I think it will be a 2-1 because the Arsenal players are really fatigued. I guess you've had a week to rest, but if he does the same thing of bringing Saka, Martinelli, and Jesus, I mean that's not gonna work. If he refreshes the squad, then it's probably a draw. But if he doesn't, Southampton is taking this one.
Okay, Zoe, how about you?
I believe the same. I was actually going to say that Ward Prowse might actually pull a nice, really nice set piece today. I really expect that.
Mm,
Considering even even the Arsenal back is really tired. The way Saliba was
Yeah.
playing in the, not Saliba, sorry, the way Gabriel was playing the last match, he was really hot and he reached a point and he was really frustrated and he was just knocking guys left, right, and center. And that is not a good
mm,
now for Southampton. That is actually not a good thing to have because if you're going to give them set pieces, I'm sorry, but
mm,
what Prowse is actually going to convert those set pieces. Um, but I actually believe that as the same thing that Benji said, if they put in Saka and Martinelli, these guys, and let's say Thomas Partey, if they keep that same first team, these guys are really tired. So I also believe that it might be either a draw or a loss for Arsenal, but regardless, yeah, yeah, it will be. So I feel like
Mm.
1-1, but with a Ward Prowse free kick.
Okay, those are both of your verdicts. I think Arsenal being at home, they're not losing this game. Not being on a biased opinion, but I think Arsenal win this game, but it won't be an easy game. I see Arsenal is going to concede a goal because the clean sheet that Arsenal has had this season, most of them have come away from home. And the Emirates is going to be a tough environment for the Saints, but they'll have something to say in the game. But I see Arsenal win this game 3-1. That's my prediction. Fingers
Jorginho,
crossed.
if Jorginho is fit, he probably should start.
Yeah,
Um,
Mm,
Southampton has been unlucky in the last games, but if you saw them against Spurs in that 3-3, that's the kind of Southampton I
mm.
expect tonight. So
exactly.
anyway, what's your prediction, Tony?
My
It's a
prediction
3-1.
3-1 Arsenal. We do concede a goal, but we win it. Not easily, but we
All right.
win the game.
What for
Okay
me?
then.
What lineup do you
Yeah,
expect, Tony? What lineup do you expect?
I think it's not going to be having a lot of changes. It's going to have Ramsdale in the goal. It will have Gabriel Holding and of course White, and then still we'll have I think Zinchenko should be fine. He's going to play
I
still.
think
He's
he'll
going
still
to
bring
stick with
Tierney.
Partey. He's going to start Zinchenko if he's fit. So I see Zinchenko in the left back, and then Partey, Xhaka, Odegaard, Saka is going to start definitely. Or however much all of us want him to rest. Then you have Jesus and Martinelli. So I think it's going to be the same team, really.
I don't think those guys will then be ready for City. If he brings that exact lineup you say, they will not be ready for City.
There's nothing to lose now. I think it's better you just go all guns blazing now.
No, it's not.
Basically, the
No,
fatigue is
no,
there.
it's not. No, it's
No,
not.
let me
Not
tell you,
There
not
is
if
against
there
you
is
you'd
not
Yeah,
rather
go
against
on.
miss the
Pep.
City
Pep is going to
match.
rest. Pep is going to rest all his players for the FA Cup
Mm,
game,
Exactly.
and
mm.
he's he knows Ateta in and out. He has not lost Arsenal since he joined Man City in the Premier League.
He
So
lost once, not in the
in the
Premier
Premier
League
League,
though.
not in the Premier League,
Mm,
in the FA Cup, the
okay.
Aubameyang
Yeah.
goal. So
Yeah.
he knows the team, and they know that he knows them. So the only chance you have is if your players have the same fitness as ours. And there's no scenario in which you say, let's fight for this one because it's right next to us. Because even if you win it and you lose against Man City, and Man City wins all the other games, the title is gone.
It's done. It's
So
over.
it's done. And you're at home, so it's a
Well,
good opportunity to give them a chance. But
I
anyway,
we'll,
It's a time. I feel
you
we'll
like
see.
as that this is a match where you guys should actually give these other guys a chance to play. Nelson should start instead. Do you remember that the matches that Nelson has played? Nelson plays really well.
yeah,
Trossard should play left wing if Nelson starts in the what in the
the
starts
strike,
as
yeah,
a, as
On
a,
the
as a
right.
striker.
Mm,
The only problem is Fabio Vieira is he's not a push type of person. He's a really laid back type of midfielder,
Ozil.
and
It's like Mesut Ozil.
yeah, so like I feel like okay, like he should play this match, but as a midfielder, probably relax. They should put in Jorginho. They should probably relax either Odegaard or Xhaka, and just leave Fabio Vieira and put in Jorginho for Partey. But I don't know who could possibly go right wing for what for Saka. But the
I
rest the
think
rest should rest.
Nelson can play in the right wing, and we play who Trossard as a false nine, and then maybe who in the middle. No, I think Nelson on the right, Trossard on the left. And Nketiah is actually okay. He could start, but you
Yeah,
don't know. You
exactly. Now
never
you see
know.
that, yeah? That can totally work.
Mm,
Like as long as you leave your best first players team guys off today's
mm.
match, they will have more time to like focus more on City. You guys need to pull a performance for City because those guys, if you guys appear any type of exhausted, my friend, Haaland charges on the sun. Like that guy charges on just static electricity. They don't
He's
even
a
have to
robot.
bring their
Yeah.
exact. Yeah, no, no, forget Haaland. Okay, let's even just forget Haaland. Alvarez is a
Mm.
brilliant child. De Bruyne can have the worst game of his season and he'll still put like 5 assists. He's fucking he's just naturally brilliant. Bernardo is just Portuguese. That guy is just whether Stitch brings their first team, their second team, all those have the potential to malice Arsenal if they make any sort of mistake of letting their players be any type of not encouraged, not motivated, tired, fatigued, scared. You guys, even City's second team will malice the living crap out of you guys. Like Alvarez, Bernardo, even if they don't bring Gundogan, even if they bring who or who, these guys, even if they bring Phillips for the first time in like his life, those guys will still malice you guys. I feel like you should not chill this match. I'm not saying you chill as
Mm.
Southampton
Take a
because
risk.
they
Take a
also have
risk.
potential to. Yeah,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, you guys, the way this season will end is mostly dependent on how Arsenal perform in the City match. That's whoever clears that match is actually the one who's going to zoom all the way to the end, which is what I believe. So don't give
Okay.
City that chance to move, yeah, past you like that. Sorry,
Okay. Let me
Benji,
run
about that
through.
City thing.
It's okay. Let me run through the other fixtures. Fulham is going to be playing Leeds. Brentford is going to be playing Aston Villa. Crystal Palace is playing Everton. Leicester City is playing Wolves, and then we can hint on this game. Liverpool is playing Nottingham Forest at Anfield. Remember the first leg, Nottingham managed to beat Liverpool 1 goal to 0, but I believe it is going to be a thrashing for Nottingham this time. Liverpool looks good actually. That front line is so good, and it's like the beat in the midweek. Which team were they playing? Which they beat 6-1? Was it which team?
Leeds. Leeds.
Leeds?
Big Leeds.
Yeah, they beat
Yeah.
Leeds 6-1, and they looked really good. Very little. Adam was having a time of his life in that game, and I believe they are also going to have a walkover this time against Nottingham. I see them being relegated, but Liverpool looks so dangerous. Diaz is back. Nunes is okay. Jota is okay. Salah is okay. Their front line is all good. The only challenge is just, I think, still in the middle, but I think Liverpool walks over this one and they beat Nottingham Forest.
Hmm.
Well,
Then
do we see
another game,
Liverpool?
yeah,
Do we see Liverpool? Do we see Liverpool in the Champions League? I don't.
it's
No,
it's
no,
it's tight.
no, no,
It's
definitely
tight.
not. I do
I think the
not
Champions League
personally.
will
I do
be
not.
for Newcastle, Spurs, and Man U to battle it all out. So Liverpool doesn't come near that.
Yeah.
And with only City with that potential for Champions League, the rest will be kicked out in group stages. Those things, easy things, easy predictions for next season.
Right. Right. And then she sounds.
Argentina to
Sounds
Man U again. Those things, simple baby things, Guys, group stages. Let me tell you, Arsenal fans, group stages are not easy. Oh. They will not. Okay, next season's Champions League is gonna be whack. It's gonna be fake. Without
yeah.
Liverpool and
I agree.
Chelsea, nah.
I agree. I agree.
So,
Because
Newcastle plays Spurs.
oh yeah, that's an
yeah,
That's
yeah,
another
interesting.
good game. An
yeah, it will
interesting
be
game to
really
watch.
good.
It's on Sunday. And also Bournemouth will be playing West Ham. Now, the last two games we're going to talk about are FA Cup semi-finals at Wembley. The first one we'll have on Saturday. Your team, Benji, Manchester City playing Sheffield United. I think that's a walkover.
Not really. Not really. Sheffield United has done really well this season. They are second in the championship, and they've already started making signings to, for players to come through when they join the Premier League.
For the
So,
Premier League. Mm.
yeah. So, the only advantage we have is I think we're at home, and we've not
It's a
really.
neutral ground. All of you are
Oh,
playing
it's at
at it's
Wembley.
at
At
Wembley.
Wembley. Okay. Pep's
Yeah,
record at
the
Wembley is
same as
not
a
really the
normal at Wembley.
Pep's record
Mm.
at Wembley is not really the best. But Alvarez will start. The second team will have a chance to stretch their legs, and I think it will be a tighter game than we expect. I,
I
I,
think
I
you lot
honestly
will
don't.
just beat these guys. Like what happened to Burnley. The first half was a little bit dodgy. Then the second half we just went riot. That's the Man City, and that's what is going to happen in this very game. Still, I don't see
Yeah, but
Sheffield having any chance.
Against Burnley, the first team played, De Bruyne played, Haaland played. It's gonna be different for Sheffield. I'm sure he's going to rest
Mm,
players for Arsenal, and
mm,
um, usually
mm,
when our midfield lacks either KDB or Bernardo, it's a bit stale. Gundogan is good when he has the two of them, but on his own, he doesn't really like
mm,
get the coordination he wants. Phillips is an absolute disaster. If he starts a game,
mm.
I don't feel. any hope of like any tackle. There's nothing that guy brings to the team, and he still earns more money than Edin Ketia, which is so unfair. But yeah, he should he should go out on loan next season. I'm now going off topic, but yeah, um, it won't be an easy
It's
game.
okay, go ahead.
It won't be an easy game. That's what I think.
Zoe, what do you think? Okay, so Benji, before I go to Zoe, what's your score? Man City,
My score
Sheffield.
is we've not. It's only against Bayern that we failed to score more than 3 goals in the last like 6 games. So I think to end like three, 3-1.
Okay, Zoe, how about you?
Now, I actually believe that it will it will kind of be a kind of a walkover, not in a walkover like let's say 5 goals, 7 goals, but like City will try to learn how Sheffield plays. Like Sheffield will probably have a very good first half, a very dominating first half, and City is just going to be kind of walking around, trying to just get a grasp of the game, and then I feel like City will come back in the second half and just malice these guys, like show
Hmm.
them what's up. I feel like to be. I don't think it will be like. I feel like Sheffield will score probably the first goal, and it will keep them
Hmm.
pumped. Then City will come and really. It will then increase
How
its
many
pace,
goals are we
and then
talking about here?
maybe leave like about four. I believe like four. Yeah, with
Same as me. I
Rodri,
think I
with
think
a
Man
definite
City.
Rodri goal,
Yes,
with a definite Rodri. Yes,
a
I feel like
cracker.
there'll be a Rodri screamer. Like there has to be like a brilliant
His goals are
goal in
always
that
special.
match. Exactly. It must be. I feel like there's gonna be
Okay, me,
probably a
I think it's going
defensive
to be
goal.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. I feel like 4-1 makes sense.
Me too, I
Okay.
see it forward. So, guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, and then share it with your friends. Give us your feedback as well. And then the final game will be on Sunday, still at Wembley. Brighton plays Manchester United.
It's
One word. One word. Mitoma.
Hmm.
Mitoma.
Mitoma, Welbeck is
actually,
also
I
on
actually
fire,
feel
by
like
the way. He might come back to haunt his former team.
I actually feel like
Um.
Mitoma won't actually like he would just be giving the assists and probably wouldn't scare guys so much. I feel like McAllister is always going to be the
Hmm.
overachiever, probably.
McAllister is a good player, very decent.
He is,
Very
he
good player.
is, he is, he is.
I'll be honest with you guys. These remaining games for Brighton will be there'll be exhibition games for these players. All these players deserve to be in better teams. Yeah. Let's say it as it is. Brighton has an excellent scouting network.
Hmm.
They have an excellent playing system. They have an excellent uh, structure around them. So the way the team plays right now reminds me of when Pep was at Barcelona. They seem to know where like each of their guys are. They're so coordinated. Midfielders make late runs. Pascal Gross is like the calmest guy in the Premier League,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's not fast. He's
Hmm.
not, but his passes are on point. So it'll be a tough one for Manu. That confidence is really down right now. That defense is in shambles. Um, yes, there'll be a Rashford goal for the British players, but yeah, Brighton all the way for me.
I don't think Rashford comes back with the form he had after that little injury.
Yeah,
I
same.
think
I
he's going
also
to
don't
be.
feel like Rashford. I also don't feel like Rashford would do actually anything much in this game. Especially, have you seen the Brighton defenders, Dunk and some guys that can't pronounce their names again with a V, and those guys are actually kind of
Veltman,
compact. They're really
Veltman,
Yeah,
yeah,
the next
compact in
season
the
it
way
might
they
not.
play. Yeah. So plus having
Hmm.
the really strong midfielders that they have, I feel like plus Brighton having all that coupled with Manu being in shambles right now, I feel like Brighton has almost a very good chance of winning that match. Like a very good chance of
Hmm.
winning that match.